All right, welcome to the Wild Card Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Evan Popalis, and I'm here with a couple buds. We got Isaac Rissinger, also known as Riss to my left.
Me.
Let's get it, Riss. And then we got Carter Forney, also known as Foe to my right. We're sporting his Miami Dolphins. Sure, welcome to the podcast, Foe.
Thank you.
It's good to be here. It's episode 1 of many to come for the Wild Card Sports Podcast. Probably going to be putting this up on YouTube. We're going to be working on getting the podcast on the podcast app, but that's going to take a couple weeks. We're also, if you're viewing this early, we're not going to have a lot of artwork at this time, but we're working on that as well. If you're viewing this later, you'll probably say, Evan, what the heck are you talking about? There's plenty of artwork. That's awesome because we'll have artwork by then. So today, we're going to be talking about originally our NFL predictions for the whole 2019 season, but due to time constraints, we're going to just be talking about week 1 of the NFL season and other news going around the league. Riss is over here. He's getting all ready, putting those hands together. Yes, sir. Let's do it. All right, so first off, let's talk about some news leading up to week 1. We have Seahawks and Texans. These are my notes right here. Seahawks and Texans upgrading right before the start of the season. Now I like where the Texans are going. They did get rid of Jadeveon Clowney. Too bad Foe's Dolphins did not get Jadeveon. But we'll talk about that in a few seconds. But they were able to get most of Miami's whole roster, let's just say, in Kenny Stills, Laramie Tunsil. Am I missing anyone, Foe?
I don't think so, Pop.
All right. All they had to give up, they got some pretty decent pieces there. Tunsil's a good lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Stills didn't have his best days in Miami.
Yeah. He was a very consistent receiver though, and he was the Dolphins' most consistent receiver. But I mean, he's not a number 1 wide receiver.
Right. So he'll fit in well there with DeAndre on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Little slot action, whatever they need him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And but let's move over to Seahawks here. Jadeveon Clowney, that's who he goes to, the Seahawks, and that's really going to help that front 7, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And really, maybe not as good as the Legion of Boom from back in 2012 years, but it's getting right back up there. Riss, do you have any insight on that?
Well, actually, the Texans. I'd like to say a few things about the Texans. I'm ready for Deshaun Watson to have another breakout year,
Yeah.
After suffering that ACL injury, that was detrimental. That was horrible. Unbelievable. But now, with just the wide receivers that he has and his ability to create plays and make situations happen for these Texans, I'm ready.
Awesome. You're talking about Kenny Stills going to the Texans. That also gives Deshaun another good target. But we have to talk about DeAndre Hopkins here. Probably was the first or second best receiver in the league. Did not drop a pass in 2018. That is absolutely crazy. I know Carter Forney never dropped a pass in high school, but that is just amazing that he just didn't drop a pass against NFL elite
DBs.
DBs,
like,
yes.
Always going up against the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
He still just dominated every game.
Always dominated.
Mm-hmm.
Love that from him. So, moving on to our next news. Gonna hurt Foe a little bit. I have Miami waving the white flag already? ? But not really. It's Miami's waving the white flag already. That's an exclamation point. That is a full-on statement in exclamatory mode. Foe, what do you think about Miami right now? What are they doing?
Well, clearly it looks like we've gotten rid of our best players and our best up-and-coming left tackle, Laramie Tunsil. He's my man's. I love him, but I mean, I guess we want to build for the future, and we got a lot of draft picks. But I'm a little upset just because now we have to find another left tackle has to be as good as Laramie, but he's a good left tackle and he's young, and it's gonna be hard to find one that's as good as him. And clearly, I mean, Kenny Stills, I'm fine, with Kenny Stills being gone. I think our receiving core is still okay, but we are looking towards the future now.
What about quarterback situation?
Yeah, that is very interesting because they get rid of Laramie Tunsil, their left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So now Fitzmagic, Ryan Fitzpatrick, starting week 1. I believe Miami has a tough schedule in the first 4 weeks, going against good pass rushes. Say against Baltimore week 1. I'm pretty sure they're going against the Chargers in those first 4 weeks. So I just don't think they wanted to put Rosen in right away and start 0-4 and be like, this is a dumpster fire already.
Mm-hmm.
I think you want to wait till Fitzmagic, I don't want to say gets exposed, but basically get exposed.
MVP caliber in his first 4 weeks.
There
He's
we
going
go.
to be going off, and then he's just going to hit the dirt path.
Yeah, we never know how the NFL works these days. Do you think Miami is tanking for a quarterback in next year's draft, or is Josh Rosen, they want him to be the quarterback of the future?
Yeah, I think it depends on what he does this season. But, I mean, I like Fitzmagic. I mean, you got to respect him. He's an NFL journeyman. But, yeah.
Respect the beard.
Oh, for sure. You got to respect him. And I like Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's just that he's now a veteran, and we want to see if Josh Rosen is the future. And if Rosen doesn't get much playing time, how are we supposed to know if we're supposed to draft a quarterback next year and another loaded quarterback class? So, yeah, as you said, I believe that Fitzmagic will start the season. Well, yeah, he is starting the season, but he'll, start the season. We'll see how it goes, And then I think they're definitely going to start Rosen at some point. But Rosen will play this season.
Exactly.
Rosen, the chosen one. The Rosen one. But listen to this, this year for college football, it's the year of the wide receivers,
Exactly.
So with all these draft picks, they're definitely going to be wanting to get some,
Judy.
Jerry Judy from Alabama is looking like a key. LaVisca Chenault from Colorado. Oh my God, unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
Okay.
I can believe it. But yes, Miami. Where am I going with this? Miami just, trying to waver at the bottom of the standings, I'd say. I don't know if they're necessarily tanking. I want to say they are tanking.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to believe it's for a quarterback because now they have all these draft picks coming next season and the season after to help bolster that lineup and hopefully be the team that is going to be feared in the AFC East once Tom Brady decides he's going to move on after he's prescribed with the walker.
Yeah, the Dolphins have been waiting for that since day one. As Tom Brady took over the AFC East, we've been waiting for his retirement forever.
Well, we will. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins were the team that won the AFC East the year in 2008 when Brady tore his ACL.
Yeah, yep.
Only
time ever we're gonna win the division.
All right, so last but not least, this one broke out last weekend. Andrew Luck's retirement. Now this one, we've had a little bit of time to digest this big huge news that I didn't believe at first when I got out of work the one day. But Riss, what do you have to say about Andrew Luck retiring?
Well, I think Colts fans are just despicable for booing Andrew when he's walking up the field. I mean, that man put blood and tears
He really did.
into his work. Injury after injury, the Colts line is just god awful, and he just took a beating year after year, and it was, yeah.
And now that line is good. They've got Quentin Nelson out of Notre Dame. Honestly, went from probably the worst line in the NFL
horrible
to the best last year. But Andrew's just been dealing with those injuries the past 4 seasons. Do you think Andrew maybe should have taken some time on the IR? Maybe start the first 8 weeks and see if his ankle, calf, whatever was bothering him got better? Or do you think, like him saying mentally worn down, like he just doesn't want to be a part of this anymore?
Yeah, I think that it was taking a big mental toll on him just to constantly be getting injured and to having to sit out and be questioning his character as a player, and I think he was tired of it and he was just looking out for the best for him. He was the only one who could really know when it was time and if it was time.
Right, because he was talking about how he just was sort of losing the love for the game of football by being injured all this time and just being in that constant cycle of injury and finally getting back to health or healthiness, whatever you want to call it, and then right back on the injured list. But what do you see from this?
Well, first off, you gotta respect Andrew Luck's decision, and it was his own personal decision. Like, I got nothing but respect for that man, And if he decides that it's time to retire, then it's time to retire. And yeah, like Isaac said here, aka Riss, my dad. Like Colts fans, you should like be happy for the man. I mean, this guy was voted. He was definitely, I saw a video of people interviewing other NFL players and asking who the nicest guy in the NFL was, and every single one of them said Andrew Luck. Like that says something about his character, and you gotta respect that.
I thought it was really funny because I was scrolling through Twitter that night and I saw the videos where Andrew Luck would get sacked and then he'd be like, "Oh, nice hit, buddy," and he just get absolutely destroyed sometimes. And he's like, "Oh, great hit, man." I just found that funny.
For sure.
Andrew Luck, I hate to see it. I hate to see him retire because he's such a great player.
Mm-hmm.
For Indianapolis, yeah, it's terrible for them, but it's their fault at the same time. They didn't protect him in his younger years, and now that he's getting older, I mean, still right in the middle of his prime. Like I had Indianapolis being Super Bowl contenders this season, and now that this happens, nothing against Jacoby Brissett, but he just doesn't have it as much as Andrew Luck does. So I don't see the Colts in that category anymore. They still have an amazing roster.
I'm not sure.
You like Jacoby?
You like Jacoby?
I like Jacoby. I think Jacoby's kind of nice.
Okay.
But also, hot take here.
Hot take.
Giants are going to beat Eagles.
Giants are going to beat.
I like that, Rich.
I like
that. There we go. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Daniel Jones. He can sling that rock.
Daniel Jones. See, I believe the New York is taking the same approach maybe as Miami is. They're gonna start Eli. I don't know when they're gonna get this love for Eli out of their mind because he's not good. No offense, Eli. This guy's won 2 Super Bowl championships. People are like, "Oh, he's gonna go in the Hall of Fame because of it." Doesn't even have a winning record as a starting quarterback. That's for another day to talk about.
Really?
Doesn't even have a winning record. Man.
Really? Total all-time record.
I'm pretty sure, unless I completely read that stat one day absolutely wrong.
Look it up, Chris.
You could look it up if you want to on your nice little iPhone.
Hey Siri.
Okay.
Eli Manning's all-time record.
Here we go. We're gonna find out right now from Siri, and it's.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Sorry, I kept talking right in the middle of that. Hold on.
Eli Manning's all-time record.
Eli Manning is a quarterback for the Giants.
Is that so, Siri?
All right, doesn't say.
It does not say Eli Manning's stats, but I'm pretty sure last year he was 200 and 200, some odd numbers in there. And then, they were just terrible last year, so the losses outweighed the wins. So I'm pretty sure he's under 500 as a starting quarterback now. But anywho, sort of like Fitzmagic, I see the same thing for Eli. They're gonna start Eli. Giants, they're not good enough as a team, I don't think, to get these bigger wins. Maybe they'll beat Washington, or maybe they'll beat the Eagles twice, hopefully. But I think they're gonna move on to Daniel Jones, week 5, week 6, and with my predictions for the season, I have the Giants winning 3 games, grand total of 3 games. Let's get that on the record. And Daniel Jones is going to win all 3 of them. But in Riss's mind, maybe it'll all be against the Eagles.
Yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, alrighty then.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about that. So you guys don't have anything against Andrew Luck retiring? Nothing against it?
No.
All right. That's 3 for 3 right there. I don't really feel bad for Indianapolis either because they waited way too long to get that man some help. Mm-hmm. And you can't just waste a generational talent like that. number 1 overall pick out of Stanford, right? Yeah. I definitely would have been really mad at myself if I got that wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So now that we've talked about that, let's go into week 1 predictions. Again, as I said, we're going to do the whole season predictions, but time moves fast, and I just really wanted to get this first podcast in. So let's go to week 1 of the NFL season. We are just 3 days away, as we're recording, 3 days away from Packers-Bears in the NFL's 100th season. I believe it's going to be a great one. The NFL's 100th season, kicking off with one of the best rivalries ever known to the sport, Green Bay and Chicago in the Windy City. Foe. What do you think about this matchup, and where do you think this one goes?
I like this matchup a lot. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a close game. I would have to go with the Bears at home though.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Do you think that's going to be like a field goal game, or they're going to pull ahead, or what do you see?
I would say a field goal or a touchdown game.
Field goal?
That's gonna be it. But I mean, don't count Aaron Rodgers out. You
Never
know?
count
His
Aaron-
stash is cash. You know?
Stash is cash.
I mean, he's nice, but
He is
I don't know
nice.
if he can pull it off at Chicago. We'll see though.
Yeah, this one's pretty tough for me. We had this matchup actually opened up Sunday Night Football last season, but it was in Lambeau, I remember, and Khalil Mack's first game in Chicago. I was like, okay, I gotta watch this, of course. Dude just took over the game, like strip sack. I'm pretty sure he got. I'm pretty sure he got an interception for a touchdown, or pretty close to it. But dude really just took over the game. This one's tough for me though because I think the Packers are better than last year. You got guys on defense. Adrian Amos comes over from Chicago, and I still don't know what to say about their receiving core. Don't really know. Don't really know what's going on there.
Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay.
At least they have Devontae Adams.
They got Devontae Adams.
But, yeah.
Something.
Well, you
like
know,
Quinn
Aaron
St.
Rodgers played the entire 2018 season on a bad knee.
That
While
is
running
true.
a stale offense and still somehow managed to squeeze 6 games out of his team.
Yeah, can we just take a moment here?
With a
My
healthy
knee!
with a healthy Rodgers and an imaginative new coach, it seems like a good year to predict that the Packers are going to return to the playoffs.
Okay,
See, I believe
Riss.
I got my prediction sitting right here for the season. I have them as the number 7 seed at 11-5, though. That's how good I think the NFC is going to be this year.
Wow.
But let's get back to week 1. Let's stay focused on week 1 here, Evan. Man, I really think the Bears are probably a little pissed off after last year how they blew that first game because they were up about 20-3 or something, and then they ended up losing that game on some crazy Aaron Rodgers, the stash, my knee stuff. So I'm going to pick the Bears in a close one. I really hope it doesn't come down to a field goal for them because remember the last time we saw the Bears, it was the double doink. It was the double doink. They're going to have a new
They need
kicker.
Carly Lloyd.
They need Carly Lloyd.
They
That's
do
what
need
it
Carly
is.
Lloyd.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see Carly Lloyd.
I would also be interested to see Carly Lloyd. I've seen players like Keenan Allen kind of call her out on Twitter saying what happens when there's a blocked field goal and it's like she's like gonna have to run away from getting hit and all these other NFL kickers they didn't grow up playing football. These are soccer players. Like, come on now, come on. Carly Lloyd could have a chance. Give her a chance. Give her a couple practices, see what she can do. If it's not for her, if the team doesn't believe, then it's not for her. So I have the Bears in a close one. Hopefully it doesn't come down to a field goal for them because I would much rather have Mason Crosby than Eddie Pinheiro, I think his name is. He's getting to start week 1 as kicker for the Bears. I hope I said that name right. So I'm also going to have the Bears in a close one too. I'll probably go, it's going to be a low scoring game, I think. I'm going to go about... let's make it a weird one. 18-13. 18-13 Bears.
Okay.
I'd say that's reasonable. It's going to be a very low scoring game because of the defense is just the Bears' defense is tremendous, but Aaron Rodgers can sling the rocks. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. I'm going to say 24-21.
Bears?
Packers.
Packers, okay.
Packers.
Okay,
I like
there
it,
we go.
Riss.
We got 2 Bears and 1 Packers, and honestly, that was a coin flip for me.
Yeah.
So that's on Thursday night. Let's move on.
You never can be sure with divisional games.
Never.
Rivalry games, especially this game, long time it's been going back.
Let's talk about that Miami Miracle then from last season. All right, so let's move on to Sunday, 1:00 p.m. on Fox. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that yet. Redskins at the Eagles in Philly, Lincoln Financial Field. Philly, they got to be a little mad too. They are coming off of a loss against New Orleans when they believe they should have won that game.
They could have easily won.
They could have easily won.
But they were lucky to get there.
Yes, very lucky to get there. Great game that was. So they're going to open up against Washington, who has named Case Keenum the starting quarterback week 1. I'll start this one off. I like the Eagles. Deshaun Jackson does have a broken finger. I don't remember which one it is, but he's expected to play. Carson Wentz is better than Case Keenum. Actually, I shouldn't say all the running backs of the Eagles are better than all Washington's because Darius Geis, who didn't get to play at all last year, he's going to be good. Nasty stiff arm he threw against Atlanta in the preseason. This is usually one of those games where I say close a little bit in the beginning, but the Eagles are going to pull away in the second half. They'll probably put high 20s, maybe low 30s up on them. I'm going to go 31-17 Eagles in this one. Riss, what do you think about this one?
I think it's going to be closer than it should be, but overall, just the whole game is going to be dominated by the Eagles. Just a better team overall. Redskins aren't ready yet. Their line is also not too good, so it's going to be Eagles.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with that. Eagles. I mean, I hate the Eagles so much, but they're better than the Redskins.
As do I.
They're better than Heckman's team, so.
They are better than Heckman's team. Another one of our pals. Might have to get him on the podcast one day. We'll never know. Moving on. Bills and Jets. AFC East matchup. Now, I want to talk Jets. Like an overview of their season. I think adding Le'Veon Bell, C.J. Mosley, definitely other people that I can't name right now. Just give Sam Darnold another year as well to get better. And a great running back like Le'Veon Bell. I see New York battling for a wild card spot. They're not as good as New England. I think New England's even better this year than they were last year. I definitely like New York in this game. This one's going to be close, though, because week one, teams got to feel themselves out. And a division game, as we said, there's always tough to win. But I like the Jets in this one. Probably another low-scoring game, probably in the teens, I'd say. I'm going to go with 17-14, something close like that. Jets win it.
I'm saying 13-10, Jets win it.
All right.
Well, first things first. My man's Quinnen Williams. Like,
I
he is
forget about my man's
just a
Quinnen
monster. Like, he just, one time in an interview, he said, he sneezed, he blessed himself, and said, and thanked himself.
Yes.
Like, you're an instant legend. Like, thank you, bro. Like, I just never thought of that.
Legend.
You know? Like, I just love him. But, I hate the Jets. But, like, I love Quinnen Williams. I mean, he's the man. And he could be really, really good. He just has all the tools, really good. But yeah, definitely Jets over Bills.
You like Jets over Bills?
Yeah, probably like, I'm gonna say like 24-14.
And I like what's his face, quarterback for the Bills, Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I do like Josh Allen.
He's got a strong arm.
Yeah,
And
he's really
the Bills just cut Shady McCoy, so. They did have a running back in the preseason that I saw he was doing well. Don't remember his name off the top of my head. I definitely will know it soon enough. Because why would you cut Shady McCoy for someone that you didn't believe in? But I like the Bills. Maybe not this year. But honestly, I really think when Tom Brady says goodbye, like it's going to be anyone's division, I would say.
It's going to be up in the air.
It's going to be up in the air. Right now, if it were to be next year and Tom Brady leaves after this season, I'd say Jets. But honestly, Buffalo can get there. Miami can get there real quick in just a couple seasons with all their draft picks too. So moving on to the next one here. Take a little look skis. Here we go. This one should be a little bit more good for the taste buds. Falcons, Vikings. Really like Atlanta this year. I really do.
What about him? What do you like about him?
I think last year their secondary got injured really early. They had a lot of guys honestly go down week 1, week 2, like just super early in the season. So I think bringing those guys back, they're going to be healthy now. They have whole 365 days to get better, train, be right back where they were, hopefully not injured. Matt Ryan, I mean, this team was literally in the playoffs, literally in the Super Bowl 3 years ago, and not much has changed. They've had Calvin Ridley. They still got Julio Jones, number 1 or 2 receiver in the league. I like him and DeAndre Hopkins at the top. But that's what I like about them, honestly.
So you got Falcons in this game?
I do like the Falcons in this game. I know I talk a lot of crap on Kirk Cousins for primetime games. Probably everyone does because he never wins them. But, the Vikings aren't going to be that bad, though.
Vikings wide receiver core is
Stephon Diggs and Adam
Laquan
Thielen.
Treadwell.
They have Dalvin Cook coming back too from an ACL tear.
He was producing last year.
So they're going to be good, but I'm going to take Atlanta in this one. Probably more of a high-scoring game because two offenses in the top half of the league. I'll probably go. Let's go 28-24. I like Atlanta. Go Birds, not the Eagles, on the road.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to give it to the Vikings this game. I'm going to say 42-44.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's going to be
a little...
Defense is not there for either team. I'm
Okay.
going to say it's going to be an offensive game.
Okay. It's like a little Rams-Chiefs last year. Okay, so what do you see in this one?
I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, I could honestly go with either team.
He is really thinking about this.
I'm
He's just
really
staring
not.
right at his phone at the two teams and
Yeah.
just no stats, no anything, just
Nope.
just the names of the teams and
I might have to give the slight edge to the Falcons, just barely.
just barely.
But yeah, we'll find out. I would probably say 28-21.
All right. Next one. Here we go for my man's foe to my right. Dolphins hosting Baltimore here. Oh, excuse me. At Hard Rock Stadium. Fitzmagic. Oh, come on. Take this one away. I want to hear what you got to say about this one.
I would expect Fitzmagic to not do too much. Our line is bad, like maybe the worst in the NFL. But I mean, I'm a Fins fan, but I think the Ravens will end up finding a way to win this game.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Ravens. I'm gonna say 28-9. I'm gonna say the Dolphins don't score a touchdown.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Oh, you hate to hear that, Dolphins fans. Fins down, as Foe texted me the other night once they traded everyone away. He said Fins down, and that's about it.
Yep.
Ravens, Dolphins. I like Baltimore in this one pretty comfortably. Ravens, I have them as more, they have a great defense, and they're a team that they want to get the game over with quickly. That's how I view it. They're gonna like to run the ball. They have multiple different good backs, and they have not the best receiving core, but they have receivers that can just get the job done. And Lamar Miller again, he's got to throw the ball more this season. And I think I watched him a little bit this preseason. He looked a little bit better.
Lamar Jackson.
Thank you, Fo.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson. With his reads and his accuracy in the preseason. So I like the Ravens in this one. I'll probably give him about 23-7, 23-10 in that range because they're just going to want to run the ball. Miami make a couple stops, but I was generous with the 23. Moving on, another one that I don't know how you guys are going to feel, but I'm pretty lopsided on this one. Chiefs, Jags, 1 o'clock in Jacksonville, Florida. Riss, take this one away.
Yeah, Chiefs are gonna clap him, take him to. Yep. I mean, I think it's gonna be brutal.
You think it's gonna be brutal?
Yeah, the Jags. Well, Nick Foles actually.
That's true. Nick
Yeah,
Foles.
it's week 1. It's not gonna mean anything. Nick Foles just doesn't produce like he will in the playoffs. I'm gonna say.
Or with the Eagles.
I'm gonna say 35-18.
I honestly, I can picture that.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so Chiefs, Jags, definitely like the Chiefs in this one.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's that team that I just really have no idea if they're gonna be decent, if they're gonna be god awful, or they could be a playoff team. Who knows? 2 years ago, they should have went to the Super Bowl. They were beating Tom Brady and the Patriots, and they let him right back in. But and then last season they were straight awful. They were not very good. They have Nick Foles this year. Definitely an upgrade from Blake Bortles, of course. Leonard Fournette. Hopefully he stays healthy and level-headed, and because he got suspended 1 game last year. And the defense can be amazing. They just signed Miles Jack to be the 3rd or 4th highest paid linebacker, literally 2 days ago. So we'll see where that goes, but I like the Chiefs definitely in this one. I'm going to go high scoring for the Chiefs, 41-20. I'll give the Jags 20.
Yeah, definitely got to go with the Chiefs here. The Chiefs' offense is dirty, and they just signed Sean McCoy too. So
Oh, I
Like,
forgot about that.
yeah, now they even have Sean McCoy. They did lose Kareem Hunt, but I mean, Sean McCoy's still really good, and they have Damian Williams too, and I mean they're pretty much stacked on the offensive side of the ball. So yeah.
They got Frank Clark on defense now too.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully their defense might be a little bit better than last year, and I mean they should have been. I mean, yeah, they were an offsides away from being in the Super Bowl. So
And offsides, yeah, definitely offsides
Yeah.
away from the Super Bowl.
yeah, literally.
And that has to hurt sometimes.
For sure.
Well, definitely not sometimes. Probably every day.
Yeah.
Man. So what score wise? What do you see this one? as?
I'm gonna say like 42 to 23.
42-23. All right. That's a really high scoring game. So moving on, Titans, Browns. A lot of hype coming around Cleveland. Baker Mayfield in his second year. He's going to be starting the whole season, unless injury, of course. And they have Kareem Hunt. He will not be able to be with the team for the first 8 weeks at all. So that's going to be a little bit of a damper. But
They do have Nick Chubb though.
they have Nick Chubb. He's excellent. They have, of course, adding OBJ. Still got Jarvis, bringing back the LSU days.
Yeah, those guys are amazing.
And the defense is going to be there too, hopefully. They got Denzel Ward, cornerback, coming into his second year. Did he make the Pro Bowl last year? Or did he just miss the Pro Bowl?
He was close, I think.
I don't know. He was really good.
He was good.
Myles Garrett.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. Absolutely. The other one they really lost was Jabril Peppers.
Yeah, they drafted Greedy Williams.
Yeah, they got
Greedy
Greedy
Williams
Williams.
He could
LSU,
be really
right?
nice.
LSU,
Oh, great.
DBU.
There we go. So they're going against Tennessee. Honestly, AFC South so difficult for me. Besides, I have Houston winning that. I have Houston winning it pretty easily. The Titans, though, they've been 9-7, literally like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
We're just a winner go home scenario, a win away against Indianapolis last year, week 17 for making the playoffs, but they didn't even have Mariota. So
Now they do have Ryan Tannehill though. As
they
a
do have
good
Ryan
backup.
Tannehill's backup.
Yep.
Honestly, don't know if they're gonna shift to him if things would, go downhill at all.
If they start like 0-2, 0-3, what are they going to do? They're going to keep Mariota in?
I don't know, because Tannehill is a good quarterback, but this is definitely Mariota's make or break season because they have Tannehill waiting behind him. He could easily take over the helm. That's what you want to call it.
What you want to call it.
Awesome. So this is a tough one for me. I'm gonna go Cleveland though. I just think, opening day it's gonna be tough to stop those big boy wide receivers and big boy running back Nick Chubb. So I'm gonna go Cleveland in a close one, 20-17. That sounds about right for me.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, Pop. There, Cleveland, they're just nice, And,
Now we're not talking. We're not really talking season predictions. Do you see Cleveland as a possible winner of the AFC North in your mind, or do you think they're a wild card team, or not going to make it at all?
I could definitely see them either winning the division or just making a wild card spot. I would say more realistically, probably a wild card spot.
Wild Card Sports Podcast. Maybe you're listening. Keep going, Phil.
But yeah, they're a good team, and they're at home. Baker Mayfield in his second year. I mean, he could go off this year. We'll see, especially with the weapons around him. But yeah, definitely Cleveland. I'd say like 28-17.
All right, well, it is still Cleveland. They are
It
still...
is still Cleveland,
sure,
and we
sure.
do have a Steelers fan on our hands.
Yeah, we do.
True.
Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with the Titans just because I think they're going to have a bit of a buffer period. The Browns are. They're going to have to, find their footing with all these new players, all these new great players, definitely. But, they're going to have to find their footing and and what their offense is going to look like and everything like that. I think it's going to take some time for them to get in the winning streak. But
Okay.
I'm gonna go 20. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead and say 31-21.
All right.
Titans.
I respect that. They got Derrick Henry too, who's a
Yeah,
really
they do.
tough back to
Oh,
get
yeah.
down.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
tough back. And I've noticed with Cleveland now, this is before they were actually able to win games last year. The last 2 seasons before that, they couldn't tackle anyone. Really couldn't tackle anyone. So we'll have to see what Derrick Henry's able to do against them. Let's shift to the Carolinas. We have the Panthers hosting the Rams. Gentlemen, what do we think about this one?
I want to see Will Greer out there slinging that rock.
Let's see Will Greer.
Yeah,
That Mountaineer
but
man.
besides that, it's gonna be brutal. The Rams are gonna take him downtown.
Take him downtown a lot.
Take him downtown.
All right, take him downtown.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say the same thing.
Same thing?
Rams definitely all the way.
I'm going to take the Rams as well, but I do foresee the Rams maybe having a little bit of a more down year this year than they did last year.
I think that's fair.
So we'll just skip over that one. I don't really like the Panthers, honestly, this year because Cam's hurt. He's been hurt a lot. He's had that shoulder issue all offseason. Now he literally had to leave one of the preseason games in a walking boot. So you just never want to see that. So I don't even give a score for that one. The Rams going to win easy. Bengals, Seahawks. I've seen Seattle fans, whether I'm watching YouTube videos in the comments or, just hearing it on, say, like Fox or whatever. I still don't know if I can use that term. That the Seahawks aren't going to be a playoff team. They're a bubble team for me. Probably see them on the outside just because of how good the NFC is this year. But you can never count on Russell Wilson. And that defense front seven, as I said earlier, is looking better and better, especially now with Jadeveon Clowney. But I definitely like them against Cincinnati week 1. And I don't see much coming out of Cincinnati this year besides Andy Dalton leaving, most likely. Because it's make or break for him as well. I like Seattle in this one. I'll give them a good one. 34-17.
Yeah, I agree with that. Seattle 31-17.
I said 34, but same thing.
I'm saying 31. So.
All right. I believe it. What do you think about Cincinnati?
They've been pooped past couple of years. They always just seem like they want to be good, but then they don't really want to be good.
Yeah, they just don't want to get it done.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, wait, what were you saying?
Go ahead.
Even when they do make the playoffs, they're always pooed.
Yeah, they never win. They finally get rid of Marvin Lewis, though. That's finally
That's
good.
true.
Yeah, that was.
He's
that
been
was
there forever.
Long,
He was there
long
forever.
overdue.
Way overdue. Andy Dalton, last season in Cincinnati. Do you think?
Absolutely.
Do you think he's going to have a starting quarterback gig anywhere else, or?
I think after Nick Foles doesn't do too well, he's gonna leave. Andy Dalton's gonna go to the Jags.
Oh, that was
Sold.
quick, right on the spot.
Sold.
I like that. We did
I like
not
that
talk
risk.
about that at all
I like that
beforehand.
risk, yeah.
Tho, what do you see? Bengals, Seahawks. I want to hear from you.
I'm going to take definitely the Seahawks in this game. I would probably say we go 24-13.
All right. I like that. We're all rolling with the Seahawks now. We're gonna get. I was looking through the rest of these games. Let's say we're gonna get to the meat of it, but some of these, aren't as appetizing. We have Colts, Chargers, 4:05. Let's move it on. Sorry, the Seahawks are at 4:05 as well. 4:05 game on CBS. Let's give CBS some love now. I don't know if I can say that either. Colts and Chargers. Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers. Phillip's way up here compared to Jacoby in my mind. There is some drama in LA though. They're playing at a small stadium, soccer stadium, so could have a lot of Indy fans there. No Melvin Gordon up to this point, so they're gonna have to go with what's his name? Austin Eckler? Is that a thing? Or Ezekiel Eckler? What the heck is his name?
I forget.
Something Eckler.
I don't even know his name.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. But they got Eckler, a couple other guys that might be able to half pull the load, but you can't really replace Melvin Gordon. He's one of those top 5 running
Is he
backs.
holding out?
He is holding out for a new deal. He's once a trade, and the Chargers have allowed him and his agents to
Explore those
options. Try to find a trade. I do like the Chargers in this one. The Chargers have a pretty tough schedule this season, though. I like them in this one in week 1 at home, even though it's not really home. Score-wise, both teams actually have pretty good defenses now. So I'll go 23-16. Chargers in a closer one, but I definitely like them in the game.
Okay. I'm going to say Jacoby Brissett's going to lead him down in the last 2-minute drive, 2-minute situation, win, tighten the Colts that football. 23-21.
Okay. Add a bit of Terry. Is he going to get a little game-winning field goal? How old is he now, 80?
He's like 49.
49? All right, pushing 80.
47.
All right, he's pushing old age.
I'm going to have to go with the Chargers here. I mean, Andrew Luck's gone. Jacoby Brissett is poop.
We got 2 different views on Jacoby Brissett.
I'm kidding. Jacoby Brissett, he could be okay. We'll see. I mean, I haven't watched him too much, but it could be a pretty close game. I would probably say, let's say like 24-14 Chargers. So yeah.
Well, all right. So you like the Chargers?
Well, here's my thing with the Jacoby Brissett.
All right, let's hear about Jacoby.
So I think that New England, they just know when a quarterback is going to be something else. Every quarterback that New England drafts, I'm just I get behind.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
I
but
like that.
If they believe that, why would they have gotten rid of him, though?
Because they got Tom Brady still, and Tom Brady was like, listen, either you get him out of here or I'm getting out of here.
All right.
Same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay. Wait, is that actually true, though?
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Because he was being threatened, he was like, okay, well.
He did feel threatened, I knew
yeah,
that.
they're drafting quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo's looking no ice. So,
Jimmy G.
either get rid of Jimmy G
Coming up next.
or I'm out of here.
Okay.
Is Jimmy G doing pretty well right now, or
Well, like towards ACL last year.
Towards ACL last year. He comes back and it's basically like his first throws in practice. He threw 5 interceptions in a row.
Yeah, but
And then he didn't look so good in the preseason.
it's a learning curve.
Yeah,
You just got to get back into the swing thing.
Sure.
Yeah, he's got to warm up a little bit. I feel that. So, speaking of Jimmy G, let's open this to a little bit of 49ers Buccaneers action.
Yep.
What do we think, man? What do we think, Fo? Take it away.
I would have to go with the 49ers here. I mean, I like Jimmy G. I think he's a good, solid quarterback, when Tom Brady was out for a couple games or whatever for the suspension, he wasn't suspended then. But he did go off. He's got a new team, though, so, we'll see. But, yeah, I got 49ers winning this game 20-10.
Okay, a little low-scoring action. Tampa has Bruce Arians coming in as head coach, and another quarterback that is definitely on his last leg, if he doesn't get it together, is Jameis Winston. Crab legs.
Yep.
Little crab leg boy. But I like the 49ers. They can be a wild card team, even though when I went through the NFL playoff predictor, they didn't come out as high as I thought. They came out as 7-9, but I definitely think they're a little bit better than that. I do like them in this game. I think Jimmy G is most likely gonna figure out how to throw the ball again. Not 5 interceptions in practice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
We're terrible in the preseason.
Is that tight end they got?
George Kittle.
Oh my God, I love
best
him.
season for a tight end last year.
He's a beast.
They got Kittle. They got Breida at running back. Who are their other wide receivers? Do we know?
Couldn't even tell you.
I think they have one that's kind of good, but he's not a number one. Anywho, I like the 49ers. It's probably going to be a closer game. I like to agree with Fo on that. So I'm going to roll. Let's go. Make this one a little funky score. Let's go 22-18. Don't really know where those scores come
Wait,
from.
are you saying 20 2-18 or 22-2?
My apologies.
18.
22
22
for the 49ers.
2.
18 for the Buccaneers. Jameis Winston and Bruce Arians, they got to get to know each other. That's what this opening week is, and we'll see if it mends well, if they get it going. But 49ers in this one.
With the crab legs.
With the crab legs. Let's go, Jabu.
Boo.
Yep, 49ers all the way. I'm going to say, going to get a pick 6 against Jabu. Alrighty, we're going to say 27-21.
I really like Riss is dropping some hot takes.
You got to, because when you're right on one of them, then you look like a
you look like a stud. All right, here we go. My team coming up in the next one. Everyone's gonna hate me for this one. Cowboys hosting New York. I'll go first since it's my team. I let Fo go first for his. Definitely like Dallas in this one. It's a classic opener. These teams basically face each other week 1 to like every season. And Dallas basically wins each time. Dak Prescott, this is a big year for him. It is his last season under contract. And Ezekiel Elliott is holding out right now. Honestly, not from a Cowboys fan's perspective, from my perspective, I could care less if Zeke is here week 1 or week 10 because I'll give it to Tony Pollard, whatever. And Dallas' schedule is pretty easy in the beginning. It does get a little tough in week 4, but they're opening their first 3 games. They have New York, Washington, and Miami, all 3 teams. So I'm going to say Prescott. Prescott really needs to look good in the beginning of the season if Zeke does hold out because he wants $40 million. I don't believe he deserves it. Still a great quarterback. Don't think he deserves $40 million. If he wants higher money, he needs to be great in those games. So I definitely like Dallas. The only thing that I like about New York is Saquon Barkley because he went to Penn State and is an absolute stud. Definitely the most important player for his team.
He's an animal.
He is a straight animal. So
not like anything bad. Like he's a freak of nature. Like like he's a great.
I think
player.
everyone understood that though.
Yeah, just.
But
sure.
anywho,
if anyone got offended out there, I'm sorry.
No more hopes.
2019, you always got to be.
You really got to be careful.
Politically correct.
Yeah.
I'm going to be straight up with you. I hate Eli Manning because he's garbage and doesn't deserve to start anymore in the league. That came out really rough.
Like, he just doesn't have what it takes.
He doesn't have what it takes. I should have said something more like that. It's
Yeah.
straight garbage. But since Cowboys fan, I'm allowed to say that. Not really, but yes. So, Cowboys going to win this one big. I'm going to go about 30-10. 28-10 in that area.
I'd say right around there I agree with, although I do think that Saquon Barkley will have a breakout game, 238 yards.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go Saquon.
Hot take, 238 yards and the team will against 10 points. That just shows you how bad the Giants are. But, oh man.
You know what, let's change that to all-purpose yards.
Okay. All-purpose.
Rushing,
Okay.
all-purpose.
I could kind of maybe probably not see that, but you could get up to 200 maybe.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to agree with you guys. When Daniel Jones is not in the game, Saquon Barkley is the offense of the New York Giants. Saquon
I definitely agree
puts
with that.
Saquon puts the team on his back.
Here it is, though.
Yours?
Let's say Eli is like 2 for 7 with like 18 yards after the first like 3 drives.
All 18 goes Saquon.
This game. Or is it not even a thought?
For this one, I would say no because Dallas is one of those better teams. Like if it's someone like Washington
Or Miami.
or Buffalo, nothing against Buffalo either. But if it's against one of those teams, then I can say that. But week 1, a better defense in Dallas, probably like top 5, top 8 in the league. I'm gonna have to go with a no on that one. I think Daniel Jones, as I said earlier, is gonna wait until about week 4, week 5 before they're gonna insert him in. They just need a little bit more time. He was great in the preseason, like amazing in the preseason, like 137 passer rating, something like that.
Yeah.
Amazing in the preseason, but I think we just gotta wait. Just gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Lions and Cardinals. This one doesn't really interest me at all. I'm probably not gonna watch it. Go back and watch it at all. Because I'm gonna get NFL Sunday ticket from DirecTV. You're welcome, DirecTV, for that shout out.
Don't know if you can say that.
Don't know if I could say that, but I'm giving it to them anyway. I have DirecTV.
There you go.
Lions, Cardinals. What do you? Oh,
I'm gonna have to say Lions.
Lions. You think it's close at all?
It'll probably be close, but like 13-10.
Low scoring. You think low scoring for Kyler and his open?
Who are the Lions?
Actually, that's true.
Who are the Lions?
Who do the Lions have that make the Lions?
I think Matt Stafford is a decent quarterback. Definitely,
He's pretty good.
definitely in the top half of the league.
Mhm.
Maybe top third. I don't know. That's kind of pushing it. He's a good quarterback, but who? Tell me who their running back is.
Couldn't even begin to tell
Wait,
Not
was
Barry
it that
Sanders.
One rookie?
you. Not Barry
That
Sanders.
from last
That
year.
one rookie from last year.
Wait.
I didn't watch the Lions at all last year, so I couldn't tell you who that
Or
was.
maybe I'll
Carry on Johnson.
Yeah.
Do they still have him? I thought
I'm
something
pretty
kind of happened to him.
sure.
Google him right now, Fo, as we continue to talk about the Lions. They don't have Golden Tate anymore. Carry on Johnson. Okay, it looks like he's still on the line, so he better still be on the Lions. He's their best player, basically.
Mhm.
On defense, they have what's his name, Darius Slay,
Mhm.
the Slaymaker.
Mhm.
Oh, you're welcome, Slaymaker, for that shout out too. Slay's good. The defense is all right, but again, who really are the receivers? Who really? Oh wait, no, never mind. We know who the running back is. The tight end. Who's the tight end? Hawkins something.
Oh, Hawkinson from Iowa.
From Iowa. Yeah, he's gonna be
athletic
good.
as crap.
He's gonna have to be the number one target, sort of like a George Kittle in San Francisco.
Mhm.
He's gonna have to be the number one target for Matt Stafford.
Mhm.
But honestly, you couldn't really name a lot of people on the Lions.
Nope.
Mhm.
And Matt Patricia, I'm not buying him yet. Not really buying him. I don't know if I'm ever gonna buy him in Detroit, but definitely not buying him yet.
Yeah.
So I definitely. Oh crap! It's the Cardinals.
They do have Kyler Murray though.
They do have Kyler Murray, Larry. Yeah, I'm
Classic
going
Larry.
Arizona week 1.
Yeah.
They're going from the worst to the best. The worst to first. I'm just kidding. That's not gonna happen. I like Kyler Murray here. Larry Fitzgerald. Why not? Why not? If it's a team that you're gonna get a win against, it's gonna be the Lions. So I like Cardinals. Probably a low scoring game, but it's gonna be fun to watch. Kyler 17. 13. Pretty close. Pretty.
Mhm.
I'll give it to him though.
I think Kyler's going to go out there and he's going to freeze in the passing game. I think he's not going to do too hot. He's pretty short, standing behind those linemen. I think you're just going to have to get used to it.
So you like the Lions?
No, I like the Cardinals. I still think he's gonna,
Okay.
He's still got legs underneath of his body.
Mhm.
Fast
hope
little
so.
short legs.
Yeah.
Fast little short Kyler Murray legs.
All
Not
right.
crab legs. Kyler Murray legs.
Kyler Murray, not crab legs. I'm gonna give Kyler benefit of the doubt and to say 20 to 13.
Mhm.
All right.
I'm gonna change my mind. Definitely Cardinals. Let's say like 28-21.
All right.
Cardinals.
Here we go. Sunday night football. The next two games are probably the best two of the week, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
We got Sunday night football, first one of the year. Steelers at the Patriots on NBC. Don't know if I can say that either, but you are welcome, NBC, because this is going to be a hit one day. Wildcard Sports Podcast you are listening to right now. Steelers, Patriots. This is your team, Riss.
All right,
so
let's
you're
start
gonna
it off.
kick it off.
Steelers are going to go out there. They're going to have a chip on their shoulder. How many times have they lost the Patriots in just dumb ways? And when we're talking about a Jesse James falling on the 1-yard line, no reception, throwing an interception the next time. I mean, it was all over the place that game. But now, no Gronk this year. That was the person who would always beat the Steelers. Gronk would just tear them apart every year. But now no Gronk. Devin Bush added to that line. Devin Bush is the best player out of this draft.
A lot of people are saying that, and I
Devin
can believe it.
Bush.
He looks good.
Devin Bush he's athletic, he's powerful, he's a great linebacker. He's basically just a not as good version of Ryan Shazier, but he's getting there. I think Steelers are going to take this one handedly 31-17.
Okay, that's a big prediction. But
How many total yards of offense for the Steelers, Chris?
I'm saying 5-17. James Conner's going to have a couple yards rushing, but Big Ben's going to be slinging that rock all over the field. Juju's going to go off.
Juju might go off. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. What do you see this one?
I'm going to have to take the Patriots in this one just because it is the Patriots, you know. Tom Brady, he's kind of the GOAT. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
He is 100% the GOAT. That is a fact.
That is a fact. Let's get that on the pod right now. Tom Brady is 100% the GOAT.
Wild Card Sports coming at you live.
That is
Tom
true.
Brady's the
Thank
GOAT.
you. Wild Card Sports. Tom Brady is the GOAT.
So, yeah, Patriots, I'm going to have to go 35-28.
Okay. That's a high scoring, close game.
Okay.
So we got one Steeler, one Patriots. I love this matchup. This is tough. But I think I already have in my head who I want. I want Pittsburgh in this one. I think Pittsburgh is going to win this game. Mostly because of the fact, as I have down here for my top 10 teams that we'll get to soon, no drama or distractions this year. Antonio Brown's gone. Le'Veon Bell's gone. Can we talk about Antonio Brown quick with the Raiders? You're hearing all this drama that he's caused so far. Think about what the Steelers were dealing with this whole time. So it really opened my eyes to believe that the Steelers are going to have a breakout year.
I think they have a lot to play for.
They
I think
do.
they have, the whole Antonio Brown, whole Le'Veon situation, Juju become the new number one, but also the wide receiver coach passing away suddenly.
Yes.
I think they have
So
a lot
sad.
to play for. I think they're going to have a great year.
Chris, are you glad that Antonio Brown's gone?
I was a little upset at first, but now I'm just, now it's
You're fine with it.
I'm fine with it,
Yeah.
He's getting older. His whole game was just, being fast, being quick, having explosive routes, and getting the ball and then getting downfield. And I think as he gets older, he's gonna
Slow down.
he's gonna start to lose a step.
Yeah, true.
Okay. I love everything you just said right there. And I agree with you that the distractions are gone. Pittsburgh has chip on their shoulder, as you started it with. And they got a lot to play for this year. I'm not the biggest personality fan of Ben Roethlisberger, but I do believe he just quit his Monday talk show on the radio in Pittsburgh. He's putting all possible any distractions that could harm their mentality behind them. I love the Steelers this year, so I'm picking Steelers week 1 to go into Foxborough. I'm gonna knock off those Super Bowl champions. They're gonna raise the banner. They don't even do that, do they? They raise the banner.
I think they raised the banner.
I don't know where. There's no ceiling.
In the Raptors.
In the Raptors on the sides of the stadium. But I like Pittsburgh in this one. Let's go. Oh man, is this gonna be high scoring? It's probably gonna be high scoring. It's opening night. It's gotta be high scoring. Let's go. 30. Oh, that's not really high scoring. 31-28. Do they still have Chris Boswell?
Oh yeah, they got the boss.
Yeah,
they got the
rough
boss.
year for him last year. He's gonna come out. He's gonna have ice in his veins.
Yes, he is.
He's gonna have ice in his veins, as we're gonna say on the Wild Card Sports podcast here. Wild Card Sports podcast. Chris Boswell's gonna nail. I'm gonna say like a 50-yard field goal to win the game.
Yes, sir.
And Pittsburgh's gonna take a week 1. The top right in that next one. I'm on a high right now. Texans and Saints Monday night game 1 of the doubleheader on ESPN. You're welcome. Don't know if I can say that. Texans and Saints. I'll leave this one off. I am a huge fan of the Texans now. I mean, I love both of these teams to make the playoffs, of course, but I love the Texans' moves. I love everything they're doing, and I'm hyping them up so much, but the Saints are at home. And sometimes you got to hype a team up really, really high, as I've learned from listening to sports. And then you got to take the other team. I like Drew Brees at home to start the season. They don't lose at home in prime time.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, Drew Brees together, that combo, that duo, they don't lose at home in prime time, especially in week 1, as I'm saying right now. So I like the Saints. This one's going to be a high-scoring game. Definitely.
Yep.
And when I say high scoring, this one's actually high scoring. I'm going to go 45-41 Saints.
I'm going to go 48.
Oh, he's doubling down.
48-16.
Wow.
Saints are taking them to Pound Town.
Oh, man. Take him on that trade and just never stop it.
Just
wow.
Clappage.
Clappage here on the Wild Card Sports Podcast. You heard it here live.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Drew Brees. I mean, if you look at it statistically, Drew Brees is the GOAT. I'm a huge fan of Drew Brees. Super Bowl wise, now Tom Brady is the GOAT. But you look at how many bad players were around Drew Brees when he was still so good. He is statistically the GOAT. And he's also had worse teams. Bro, I'm a huge fan of Drew Brees. He's just so good.
Get him on the Fins.
Yeah, and I'm just so sad that we were a piece of paper away from signing one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Anyways, we're not living back on the past, but we are. But yeah, I'll definitely go with the Saints. I'm gonna have to say, I'd say like 42 to like 21.
Wow, you guys really like the Saints at home.
Saints at home are a deadly thing.
Saints at home are a deadly thing.
True.
Okay, so let's move into our last game. This is on my birthday, not gonna lie. On Monday nights. Broncos and Raiders. We have these two great games to just quickly go over, and then we have this one to end on. It's probably gonna be close, but not as entertaining. I'm gonna say. Actually, probably entertaining because of the Raiders. We have Antonio Brown on one side of the ball, and then we have Vontaze Burfict on the other side.
Vontaze Burfict on the other side of the ball.
Vontaze Burfict literally murdered Antonio Brown when he was on the Bengals and AB on the Steelers, and now they're both on the same team, practice against each other, except AB's never at practice. So this one, I think I like the Raiders.
I like the Raiders here in this situation.
And Joe Flacco for the Broncos, nothing against him, but the Raiders... actually, probably a lot against him.
Yeah, a lot against him. He is not good.
I mean, he has to start because Drew Lock is hurt. Their pick from Missouri. So, Joe's going to have to take over to start the season. I would assume they want him to be the starter for the entirety of the season and give Lock like that Patrick Mahomes type season to just, sit behind someone and figure out the game. And I really think Joe can help out Drew over the course of the season and another off season to help him prepare to take over. But David Carr to AB, Big Ben to AB sounds a little bit better to me for production-wise, but what did I say?
David.
Oh, sorry, David.
Derek.
I'm so sorry, David. You're picking I saw David Carr, though, on the NFL Network. Don't know if I can say that either. That he is picking the Raiders in the Super Bowl, and that's an atrocity. That's an atrocity.
There's no way.
You can't pick that. I'm sorry. You gotta love your brother, but you gotta have some realistic opinions here. Raiders are gonna win this one.
Broncos running back Lindsey.
Philip Lindsay.
Philip Lindsay's looking real nice.
He looks good, but I do like Josh Jacobs from Alabama for Oakland as well. He could be possible Rookie of the Year candidate. Good downhill runner. So, let's cut to the chase on this one. Raiders, 24. Broncos, 14. That's what I like there.
Okay.
Last season in Oakland. Let's start week 1 off with a win and then see where we go from there.
I'm gonna say Broncos are winning this game. 17-9.
Good low scoring game.
Good low scoring game.
What do you see from AB?
CAB reeling in 6 catches for 48 yards. Not really doing a lot.
That's 8 yards.
I think they're gonna put a lot of pressure on him, make Derek Carr go to his other options, and I think it's not gonna win well.
All those math geniuses out there, that is 8 yards a catch. Let me just put that out there for you.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with the Broncos in this one too. I got some faith in their defense, and yeah, I think like Isaac said, they're gonna shut down AB, and Derek Carr is gonna have to go to his other options. So I'm gonna say 21-14.
All right, we're all going decently low-scoring games for that one. So we got our picks in. Who do you think could be some surprise teams? This is just an overall for the season.
Well, I'm
just some
going
surprise
with Giants.
You think the
Giants are my sleeper pick. Yep.
as in like a playoff team, or they're just gonna win like
I think they're gonna
6 or 7?
I think they're gonna do better than expected. And I think they're gonna beat the Eagles 2 times this year.
All right.
Okay,
So what do you like falling asleep over here?
No, I'm alright. I'm just laying down.
Yeah, just
But,
laying down on your nice little wolf skin,
Yeah.
wolf fur.
My mom got that. I didn't get that.
Oh, hashtag Mrs. Forney. Let's get that in the chat. That's not gonna be a thing.
Yep. You know.
We're gonna give him a minute here, but I'll go. I'm gonna say surprise team. Maybe surprise team for some. I really like Houston this year. I don't know if that's a surprise for some people, but like Houston, if they could just figure out how to beat New England, they could be a Super Bowl team because they're probably gonna have to go through them at some point during this. I don't know if they play each other during the regular season, but if they have to go against them in the playoffs, that's the hump for them. Like they've just never been able to beat them in the postseason or regular season, and they usually get dominated in the postseason. So I really think they could play with them and keep up. I also don't know if this one's really a surprise pick. I really like Atlanta. I think the DBs are back. They're going to be great again. And moving on to my last one. This one's more of like surprise of a disappointment. I think the Rams are going to take a decent step back this year. They're going to be the 4th best division winner in the NFC. They're going to have that number 4 seed. So they're going to have to take on the best wild card, who I have as the Falcons, in the first round of the playoffs. But I just have no idea about Todd Gurley's health. I just really don't know. And he's just a huge piece. I know Sean McVay's able to maybe exploit teams with other options that they have in that great offense, but Todd Gurley, at the end of the day, they're going to need him at some point to be healthy, and hopefully that point's the playoffs, so they want to make a push to actually win the Super Bowl this year. Oh, did you figure out a team?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I might have to say the New York Jets just because, they added a bunch of new guys. Sam Darnold's in his 2nd year, and they have head coach Adam Gase, who in his first season as the Miami Dolphins head coach went to the playoffs. So I think it's possible that he could definitely make the playoffs this upcoming year, just because the Dolphins are borderline tanking, and I mean, of course, the Patriots always win, so they have to get a wild card spot. And then I mean the Bills are kind of always trash. Yeah,
They're just there.
I mean, until like Josh Allen is like in his prime, then I think they should be all right. So I think they could push for a wild card spot, even though I hate the Jets.
All right, so I just want to send this off on one last thing. I'm going to call this section or part Pop's Top.
Pop's top.
Pop's Top 10. And we're doing Pop's Top 10 NFL teams leading into week 1 of the regular season. I'm going to start at number 10. I'm going to go with the Rams. A lot of people are going to have them higher than 10 going into week 1. I really think the Super Bowl hangover is going to have a big effect on them this year. They were so close, and now I feel like you have to go through training camp. You have to go through the regular season, all to set up the playoffs again. And you never know how the NFL is going to work. Different teams can spark. All the teams are really – well, not all the teams are really good. A lot of the teams are really good, and anything can happen. Moving on to number 9, my team, Dallas Cowboys. I think their schedule is easier to play in the AFC East this year, so they're going to have a good amount of wins. Zeke will be back at some point, whether it's week 1 or later in the season. They'll be able to get by without him. I really like Tony Pollard. Not as good as Zeke, of course, but they'll be able to make it happen. Jason Witten's back. He's going to add some good leadership qualities for that. Number 8, the Baltimore Ravens. As I said earlier, they're going to be more of a downhill run. They're going to want to run the ball and just basically move the ball on the ground and then rely on that great defense for some low-scoring contest between that. And guys, I know I'm going a little quick here, but feel free to jump in if you have anything to say. You don't like what I'm saying, or you love what I'm saying. Number 7, Houston. I said I love Houston. I love their late moves heading into week 1. It might take a couple weeks for them to... we all have them losing in week 1, so it's going to take a couple weeks at least for those additions to come to full effect. Definitely those guys from the Dolphins losing Jadeveon Clowney. And they didn't really need Jadeveon Clowney because it's not really a good quarterback. And they have Mariota. These are quarterbacks who are going against in the division. Mariota, Brissett, and Foles. These are not top-tier quarterbacks. So you only need that one great pass rusher, I would believe, in J.J. Watt, and they have him locked up. So Jadeveon Clowney, giving him away is fine for me to get some other pieces. Number 6, Chicago, the Bears. They have stingy defense, so that's going to allow them to not have to score as many points, but they're going to need Mitch Trubisky to repeat what he did last year. He had a great year last year with first-year head coach Matt Nagy, who literally went to school right across town from us.
We hate that place, though.
We hate that place, technically, but we love Matt Nagy. Love what he's doing there. Really like the Bears. It's a tough NFC North, I would say. The Packers are going to be better. The Vikings are a tough team to play against, even though I don't like Kirk Cousins in prime time. Eagles, number 5, Philly. I have down injury prone because Carson Wentz, of course, and coming into this week 1, they have Deshaun Jackson injured. They have a couple of their offensive linemen injured as well. Really do believe, I hate to say it because I really dislike them, that if they stay healthy, they could easily be Super Bowl contender or even a Super Bowl favorite. Don't really know. It's too early to tell. But if those injuries do pile up, they had a lot of backup quarterback injuries in the preseason that definitely now they have Josh McCown coming out of retirement as their backup. So if anything happens to Nick Foles, Carson Wentz, I don't really know if I can trust these guys, even though we've been able to trust Nick Foles. Now moving into the top 4, I have Pittsburgh coming in at number 4. I like them because they have no drama, no distractions coming into this season. Got rid of AB, Le'Veon Bell, all that hype nonsense is gone. Now they're just here to play football, and they've got great players to do it, as Isaac talked about. Riss, as he talked about it before. Devin Bush coming in from college looks like might be the best steal of the draft. You could say that steal in the middle of the first round. So I really like where they're going. Number 3, my top team from the NFC, the New Orleans Saints. The biggest thing for them is they got to get over this loss to the Rams. I believe Drew Brees is over that, but a lot of the team is still hanging on that loss, and I think they're just gonna have to, they really got to get over it. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not a coach there, or I won't be doing this podcast right now. But I don't know what it's like in there. But for their sake, they need to get over it because they still have a really great team, and Drew Brees is in his final couple seasons. Number 2. I have Kansas City, the Chiefs. I have Patrick Mahomes gets better, exclamation and question mark. Is it possible? Because he was so great last year. I don't know. But but he has another year coming in out of this training camp, another year of experience. So, heck, why not? He could be a little better. Maybe not numbers-wise because it's really tough to get... as Fo takes a little nap again. As it's really hard to get those numbers up any more than they were last year, but I really think his football IQ can still exceed what it was last year, and that can really help them defeat teams like like New England, who I have as number 1. They're making a lot of moves, like the Texans are heading into week 1. They're picking up a lot of offensive linemen, and this tells me that they want to switch their identity. They know Tom Brady's 30-plus touchdown numbers for a season. Those years are probably behind him. He's going to have about 25 or so. So they want to run the ball, be able to dominate in that sense. They've lost Rob Gronkowski. They have N'Keal Harry, I believe.
He is on the IR, but...
He's on the IR. That just happened. He's from Arizona State, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. He's good. He's a physical he's going to be a physical receiver. He can block for them. And they have Josh Gordon getting reinstated.
So
I'm saying that's garbage.
just because they play defense. But, like, yeah, he would touch defense.
Okay. So they have him coming back. So that's a big boost, honestly, because
for sure.
I really expected them to possibly take a step back heading into this year. But now adding Josh Gordon again, I saw what he was able to do until he had to step away from football last season. So I like the Patriots at number 1. So my top 10, Pop's top 10 NFL teams leading into week 1 of the NFL season. Patriots 1 at number 2, Chiefs, 3 Saints, 4 Steelers, 5 Eagles, 6 Chicago Bears, number 7 Texans, 8 Ravens, 9 Cowboys, and the Super Bowl runner-up was last year at number 10, the almost call them St. Louis, Los Angeles Rams. Boys, anything else to add? I think this has been a great
great first episode.
I really hope this continues. I would love to be back on here with you boys again at some point. So we'll have to figure out those details. But until then, we'll probably have another podcast coming out later this week, as I'm going to talk about the my season predictions and my records to go along with that. So don't know if you guys will be on for that. We'll find out. But thank you guys so much. This is a Wild Card Sports podcast. Wild Card Sports. My host, Evan Popalis, joined today by Isaac Rissinger, Riss, and Carter Forney, Foe. And we want to thank you guys so much for listening. And we got so much more coming to you guys. Thank you so much. This is the first of many on Wild Card Sports podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good one.
Beautiful.
Woo!
Beautiful. All right, we got to get a picture.
Yeah, we do.
Picture of the
It's
first ever.
It is still recording.
Wild Card Sports. Pop.